Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Illinois Arts Council Agency, and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Illinois Stories. I'm Mark McDonald in Springfield in the 1400 block of North 3rd Street, where the newest addition to this neighborhood is the 110th build of the Habitat for Humanity of Sangamon County. And this newest build it's called the, what's it called, Colleen? The 1,000 Women Strong build. And why it's called that is because 1,000 women basically, for the most part, funded this build. And we happen to be here now with Phil Childs, who's been working on these Habitat builds for how many years, Phil?
Well, I started in '92, built a house out in Colorado, in Denver,
yeah,
and then came back and decided that I needed to get involved here in Sangamon County, and started building houses here in '94.
Yeah.
And since then, I've built houses all over the country.
And that's what you actually started off doing as a builder, right? And so you know what
Yes.
you're doing. You've been doing this most of your life.
Well, yes, I've owned a construction company for 20-some years, and I'm also a realtor, so
yeah,
it was a natural fit.
So it's kind of nice. You get to spend part of your time in Florida. You get to spend part of your time here. You get to spend part of your time being a broker, part of your time being a builder. You kind of get to do it all, don't you?
I like it. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of variety. You know, it's amazing though. The older I get, the more I feel it when I come out here and start working.
I'll bet. Yeah. It's good for you.
It is.
Good.
It's very good.
Let's get a little closer to the
Okay,
action.
good
here.
deal.
Now this house, it's very impressive. From somebody like me who doesn't know much about construction, it looks to me like this is just about done. And it's incredible because you guys only started a few days ago.
Right. We've got a really good group of volunteers, and we started last Friday and put the deck down, and Saturday we built all the walls. We had it under roof by Monday afternoon when we quit work on Monday, and we sided all day yesterday, and we'll side all day today, and hopefully we'll finish it up by Friday evening.
So you started, as we stand here, this is a Wednesday.
Yes.
You started less than a week ago.
Yes.
And you're going to have it done in 2 days.
Well, we're going to have it done ready for subs.
Right,
I mean, but it'll all be framed, and of course the windows and doors are all set, and the siding will be on, and so it'll be ready for all the professional subcontractors to come in and do their thing, and then we'll have volunteers back to drywall it and paint it, and put the trim up into cabinets, and a couple months we'll be done.
Yeah. So really, like 80% of the job is done by Habitat volunteers.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
It's fantastic. Now, do these guys know what they're doing up here, or do you have to show them everything?
Oh, they know what they're doing.
They do?
Yeah. I give them a little bit of guidance now and then, but most of the time they're telling me what to do.
Okay. And so what is it what is it called that they're applying?
That's
right
fascia.
now? Okay.
And it's aluminum fascia, and the pieces that are underneath, that's the soffit, and then of course it's vinyl siding, and we're working, as you can see, we're working off of a pick, and so once they get down to this point, we'll have everything done this far, and then we'll move the scaffolding down this way. So,
and the way these guys work so fast now, you know, we stand here, it's about 10:20 in the morning. In about 30 or 40 minutes, they'll be all the way to the end, won't they?
yeah, probably 40, 45 minutes,
Amazing.
we'll have this side done.
It's amazing. You throw up a house in less than a week, it's just incredible. Of course, you have to do that, don't you? Because that's what makes
we
this
can
whole
use
thing
a
work.
full one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said it has to work fast, doesn't it? I mean,
Oh, it does. Yeah. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to have some skilled help, and we have that. And then we have some help that really, I mean, these ladies have never done this before in their life. And they showed up this morning, and we showed them how to put the siding on, and now they're becoming proficient as being siders.
Well, we'll talk to some of them too. Thank you, Phil, for the visit.
Thank you. Nice talking with you.
Yeah, and thanks for what you do too. Laura Filter, we were just talking about the ladies that were helping on this project, and some of them were, are volunteer labor, Some of them have given money to the project.
Right.
And you happen to have done both.
Right,
So,
right.
How's it feel to be out here on the project when you help finance it?
It feels really wonderful. It feels amazing. This has been on my bucket list for quite a while, so now that I'm retired, I'm just really excited that I can go ahead and do something like this.
What did you learn doing this?
Well, I learned how quickly something like this goes up. I was scheduled to work on Monday and wasn't able to make it, and thought I'd come today and we'd be cutting 2x4s and you know, building the structure of the home, and I came today and I was shocked that we were already doing the siding.
The walls were already up,
yes,
the roof was on, everything.
Exactly.
And it's time. Actually, the siding's one of the last things you do on the outside of the house.
Yes.
Had you ever applied siding before?
Yes, I have helped my brother do it before, but not on this scale. So yeah.
There's a real trick to it because it has to fit perfectly, and there's special tools involved, aren't there?
Right. And so the guys here are the experts, and they just walk us through it and help us know what to do, and then we hammer the nails, and we're kind of their helpers. So
now you got to a point here though where you didn't want to work on this wall anymore. What point was that?
The point when I saw how wobbly that scaffolding was, and then I was like, no thanks, I'll hand you things, but I'm not getting up on that. So
you worked the lower end.
Exactly.
Huh? Okay.
Exactly.
Well, the other side of the house still hasn't been sided yet, right?
Right.
So they're going to assign you that too, right?
I hope so. I hope so. Yes. Yeah.
Now that you're an expert at the lower levels, so you're ready to get started
exactly.
over there.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's wonderful work that you all are doing here, and isn't it nice to be retired and to be able to do stuff like this on a nice spring day?
Yes, it is great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice talking with you.
Colleen Stone, how does this all work?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we just heard about this house. They've been building this for 4 days and it's almost done. I kind of get that part of it, but how does it all work that the people who apply to become residents in a Habitat home, and how you get all these volunteers? How does it all come together into fruition like this?
It's actually kind of a complicated process.
I'll bet.
So we're accepting applications right now for our home ownership program. We'll accept them through May. You've got to go through a personal interview. You've got to prove that you can afford a house payment. It's the mortgage plus the taxes and insurance. You got to make sure that you're going to be a good partner and that you can actually work your 250 sweat equity hours. So you start the program, and then a year or two later, depending upon how quickly you're doing your sweat equity hours, you'll be in line for a home. Also, what has to start is the fundraising. So we actually kicked off this fundraising in July of last year. So we concluded our first 1,000 Women Strong House, and we launched our second. Concluded the fundraising right before the build. We were really touch and go. Thank goodness for a lot of our vendors stepped forward to donate their services. We were able to go ahead and pull the trigger and say, okay, the foundation is laid. So, as soon as Sonia earned her 75 hours, her first 75 hours of sweat equity, then she could choose the lot that we're going to build on. And as soon as we had the funding, then we pulled the trigger and we got going.
Okay. So we're going to meet Sonia later in this program. I hope. I'm hoping she can make it. But she's going to be the resident of this house.
Correct.
So she starts years ahead of time getting ready for this, and she chooses the lot.
She does.
Well, how does it get purchased? I mean, she knows it's available then, right?
Right.
Okay. Then you also help purchase the property. Is that the way that happens?
We are blessed in Springfield and Sangamon County. We don't have to buy any land.
Really?
It's all donated to us. So we currently own about 13 lots. And so when a partner family is ready for the build, we'll give them the list. They'll go out with their nurture and pick the right neighborhood. A lot of it has to do with schools. They don't want to move their children out of the school that they're in. So yeah, they get to pick the lot. We think it's important. They're buying this house. They might be paying for it with a zero interest mortgage, but they're buying it. They gotta like where they're gonna live. They also get to choose some of the accoutrements in the house. So our homeowners will pick the siding color, the shingles color, the shutters, the countertop, help a little bit with the layout. It depends on their family size. Everything is based on their needs. So they really participate from start to finish.
Now, have you started the next 1,000 Women Strong bill? The fundraising, I mean. Have you started the fundraising for it?
We'll start that.
I bet you start pretty quick, don't you?
We will start that in July for our third annual.
Okay.
Actually, what we're working on now is our next two builds, which is an interfaith build, asking all the congregations all of the faith and non-faith communities to come together. And we're actually planning a Catholic build as well. So
I'll be darned.
we are already...
You know, many years ago when we first started doing Illinois Stories, we did a story on the House of Abraham build. And it was an interfaith build. I think there were 4 or 5 different religions represented.
Yes.
And so it's really neat to get those people working together, isn't it? For more than one reason. You don't only get a house built, but they all make these connections.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, for this upcoming build, we were hoping to build for a Muslim family. It turned out we had a Habitat home that was sold back to us, and our Muslim family member has chosen that house. So the Muslim community is involved again, the Jewish community, all of the Christian communities, you know, from Catholics to Methodists to Presbyterians. It's pretty exciting.
You mentioned something earlier in the interview about your vendors. You have people, they're professional companies that help you out as well. So I mean, a lot of them probably volunteer, but they also probably kick in some cash every once in a while. So you have these companies that help you as well.
Oh, absolutely. Wells Fargo Mortgage is a huge funder of Habitat homes, as you can imagine. Collins Plumbing and Heating is donating all of the services plus all of the equipment. So yeah, it's just incredible. Seth Molin is doing the roofing for us. Flooring America is donating all of the flooring. I mean, it really is a community coming together for one purpose.
Well, congratulations on number 110. It's almost done. Yeah, almost done.
Just started.
Well, it looks almost done to me, but there's a lot of work on the inside.
Exactly. It looks like a house, but you can't live here. You won't be able to live here until June. There's no toilets. Kind of important.
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, Sonia, you were here a couple of days ago. You came back today. What's changed?
What hasn't changed? The roofing is finished. The walls are all up. Not the actual walls, but I don't know what this is called.
Framing,
underneath. The framing is done. It's shocking. It's moving so fast.
It's amazing how fast it moves, isn't it?
It's amazing.
I'll bet you can't wait to get in here.
I'm excited. I definitely can't wait. Literally, I told someone the first thing I'm going to do is just sit in the yard and have a sip of wine.
Would that be nice?
It would be great.
Hey, show us through. Let's pretend the walls are up. Let's go on through.
Let's pretend. So we're in a living space. Living room here. A bedroom here.
Okay.
Excuse me. We have a bedroom here also.
All right. How many total? How many?
3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms.
Yes.
Okay. Are we in the great room right now?
This is what is this here? Dining space and laundry room.
Is that the laundry room?
Yes,
there?
that's walled in.
Okay.
It's going to be walled in back here near the back door, and then we have restrooms here in the middle off the master bedroom. So I have sliding
doors. That's the
doors.
master over there?
Yes.
So it has an attached bedroom?
Bathroom.
Bathroom.
And then it's going to be sliding doors in there, so the kids can use this one or guests can use it as well.
And how many kids are we talking about?
3 children, all girls.
All girls, okay.
Yes.
And one of them is old enough to go to college,
Yes.
right? So
She's
she'll be
a senior in high
that
school.
time.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Moving on up.
Yeah. And, okay, so where's the kitchen going to be?
Oh, goodness. Kitchen. Oh, my gosh.
Are we standing in the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not even thinking about the kitchen.
We're standing in the kitchen. Okay, all right.
How do we forget about the kitchen?
What color is the kitchen going to be?
I'm thinking all white walls, and I'm going for like a grayish and yellow, something bright. Gray and yellow is what I'm.
When's your deadline to make all those decisions?
Now that I'm not sure.
Yeah, 'cause it's all gonna have
as
to
we're
be-
moving, we're going pretty fast. So it might be soon. I wouldn't be surprised if I get
It's time for you
a.
to start looking.
I know.
Yeah.
I do know I want gray and yellows. So
Okay, okay. What about the bedrooms? Is there going to be a theme there, a color theme there?
I'm leaving it up to the girls. It's going to start off white, but as we get in, one, I know she wants purple. But I'm thinking we're going to keep it at white right now. Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you ever owned your own home before?
I have not.
This would be a first time for you.
First time. So I've rented a lot of spaces and I treated them as my own. So I knew it was time. I find myself taking care of things that I know I shouldn't be taking care of. I'm like, oh my gosh, let me just go ahead and, you know.
What a relief it'll be to have your own place.
Yes, I can do whatever I choose with
yeah.
it. Yes.
Hey, you know, this process started a long time ago, didn't it? Because
Yes.
you don't just start, you don't go to Habitat and say, I want a house.
No.
You have to work up to that.
You
don't
have to work up to it. It's definitely not handed out to you. Hey, here's the key. No, never. You have to work, you have hours, you have to contribute, and they're called sweat equity hours, so I volunteer at various locations, including my site. I've did 5 other homes, including remodels. So you definitely have to work extremely hard.
You've probably gotten pretty handy through all that, haven't you? You can probably take care of your own home
I
now.
can a little bit. Some things, as you can see, as I said, the walls, the frames,
Yeah,
the framing, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to use the terminology in construction, but
Yeah.
I can kind of point out, hey, this, or
Yeah. Yeah.
I know where it goes.
You know what work is, right? You know what work is.
I know what work is.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely put in a lot of
And
sweat.
in addition to that, though, in addition to your sweat equity, you also have to prove that you're going to be a good resident and you're going to be able to make those payments, right?
Yes.
Because they don't just let anybody come in
Yes.
and live there.
I agree. They come out, they follow up, and even in the beginning, they come out, they interview you and your family. They kind of see how you're living, the upkeep, etc. I don't know the specifics of what they're looking at when they come out and interview you, but they definitely come out, ask questions, see what type of person you are.
And you got a chance to pick this piece of property.
Yes, I
Why
did.
did you pick this very piece of
I
property?
would like to stay on the north end. I've been on the north end for a few years now, so I prefer the north end, and it's a little quiet. I figure if I'm going to own a home, I want to own it somewhere where I want to be and where it's peace. I feel like I can step outside and be okay.
Yeah.
I can leave my door unlocked.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty peaceful over here.
Well, congratulations. I guess June, is June the move-in time?
Yes, well, June is
Man.
finishing time, but
Yeah.
closing. We have to close first, and then that's definite move.
I'll bet you can't wait.
I can't wait. You have no clue. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
Well, I'm glad you came by, and I know you need to get back to work, so thanks.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Don Eklund, you've worked on a few of these projects.
Yes. Over the years, I've been a coordinator,
Project coordinator.
project coordinator.
So we're going to have to wait until that guy, there you go, okay, that power gun's off. Because I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Is this build any different than the other builds? Are they all pretty much get them done and
Yeah.
get them behind
this,
you,
is-
huh?
This is a typical build.
Yeah. Now you didn't do this in your work life, right? This is
No,
not. You were not a
no,
construction guy.
no.
What did you do before you retired?
I taught at Lincoln Land Community College.
What'd
And
you
actually,
teach?
I still work out there a little bit. Sociology.
Sociology. That couldn't be further from building houses, could it?
No, except that it involves human behavior, and this is
Yeah.
organizing humans. So, in that sense,
Yeah.
there's a lot of sociology
And that's what the
in
project
this.
coordinator does. You get all these volunteers to come together. Some of them have a high degree of skill, and some of them have almost none.
Right.
And you have to pair them with what they can do, and with the idea of getting this project done as quickly as possible.
Right.
So
exactly.
tell me what kind of skill that takes. What kind of skill do you bring to the job that helps
Well,
you do
I
that?
have to watch to make sure everybody's kept busy, and then I have to find jobs. So I always have to have in my pocket some ideas about things that people can do, because when volunteers come on site, I need to keep them busy.
Yeah, sure. And that's what they want to be busy, right? That's
Oh
why
yeah,
they're
sure.
here.
Volunteers don't want to come and stand around.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, you always build some sort of special features into your habitat houses because they're energy efficient, right?
Exactly.
Walk us through that process.
We're very conscious about energy efficiency, so we use 6-inch walls instead of 4-inch walls, and we fill those with insulation. Plus, we put an extra layer of insulation on the outside of a ½ inch before we do our siding.
Okay,
We
so
have-
that goes between the siding and the outside wall.
Yes.
Okay, and then in between the outside wall and the inside wall, you have 4 inches, 6 inches.
6 inches of insulation.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. And then we have what are called raised trusses, so we can put the insulation out towards the very end of the house, further than in many houses.
Really?
And all of that insulation is blown in.
Okay.
So and the walls are also blown.
So it'll be blown in, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
In the
yes.
area that we can see
Well,
the raised
yes,
trusses.
and of course,
Okay.
we can't blow that insulation in until the ceiling's up, till we have drywall up there.
Yeah, because it would just fall right
It
through,
just-
right?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that wouldn't do anybody any good.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And so it's the blow-in variety, and you'll fill that whole space up.
Yeah, fill
Wow.
it.
Now, these do not look like the studs I'm used to seeing, or
These are painted studs. This is a 1,000 women build, and the women were invited who donated money for the build to paint a stud. So they each painted a stud, and then they'll come out and get to see these studs in the house on April 15th if they'd like to come.
before you cover them up.
Before
Because
we
they're not
cover
going
them
to
up.
show after
Right.
you put the walls in. That's going to be the end of
Right.
that.
So
But
they can always drive by this house and say, see the walls in that house? There's one of the studs
there's
in
one
there
they
that
named
I
it that I
painted.
painted, right?
And
So
I
it's got
painted.
my initials on it, or whatever I wanted to say. Huh?
Right.
Okay, that's dream
So
big.
that's fun.
home is where the heart is, and yeah, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. And these are the women. We said 1,000 women strong. These are the women that gave the financing, much of the financing for the house itself.
Generally $100 each. So 1,000 women, $100. That's $100,000. That's what it costs to build the house.
That's terrific. That's terrific. Well, Don, I don't want to keep you any further. I don't think you remember how many houses you've coordinated.
This is the 22nd house that I've coordinated.
That you've coordinated. Well, you ought to be pretty good at it by now.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. This was fun. So good to do this.
Dick Livingston, it's about time somebody got on the roof of this house. We've been looking at the siding and everything. It's about time somebody got on the roof, and you're the man.
I guess so. I've been nominated.
You're a pharmacist by trade.
I was.
And you
36
retired?
plus years.
36 years as a pharmacist,
Right.
and you retired. What do you know about building?
Just on hand, reading magazines, helping Dad when we were doing things growing up.
Yeah, you know, Dad. Most people that are handy got it from their dad.
Yeah. I grew up in a farming family. I've been doing habitat houses for 20 plus years
Is that
now.
right?
So.
Yeah. So you've been nominated to go up on the roof and start the flashing, and what are you going to do also? Putting down some shingles?
Put down some shingles. The flashing protects the gap between the house and the roof so that there's no water gets in between. It's just a little piece of aluminum. And when you put the shingles on, you do it in a staggered form so that the water runs off.
I noticed earlier you went and got some knee, not pads, but knee.
They're knee pads.
Yeah,
There's foam in there.
Yeah.
Because I'm old, my knees hurt.
You're going to be on your knees up on the roof.
I'm going to be on my knees.
Okay, for a while. And you got something in your hands. What are you hiding there? It looks like it's a high-power rifle or a revolver.
It's a nail gun,
Yeah.
and the nails are in here in a loop.
You know, it's just like a
So it
clip of
feeds
a
them
gun,
out.
isn't it?
Well, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
It feeds them out one at a time and shoots them in.
Okay, well, I don't want to stop you. Why don't you start climbing that ladder and we'll talk as you go, okay?
Okay.
All right, I want you to be careful, though. Don't take your eye off the ball for us. But what do you do first, the flashing?
Yeah, the flashing goes under the shingle. So there's the flashing.
Oh, okay. And that tucks up against the house? Is that what that
Tucks up
does?
against the house.
And how do you apply the flashing? Is that with the nail gun?
Yep, it goes right through it.
Oh, okay, so you do the shingle and the flashing at the same time.
Right.
Okay.
Too far out.
One layer?
One layer of shingles,
One
yes.
layer of shingles. Well, you know, unless you have some help, it's going to take you a long time, isn't it?
Oh, it goes pretty quick once you get going. Of course, the guys that do it all the time do it way faster than I'll ever move.
Yeah, well, they get paid a lot more than you, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick, thanks. Don't get lost up there now.
Oh, I'm going to try not to.
All right. Josh Phillips, you have not just this project, but as the construction manager, is that your title?
Correct.
Construction manager. You've got maybe 30 projects a year going on for Habitat, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so you're planning, at some stage you're planning all these at some point this year, I guess.
You're constantly planning, and then the execution part comes as well. It's always one of those things you always got to be ahead of the game so that when it's time to work, everything is lined up and you just go with it.
You know, I noticed that here today. In April, of course, the weather's always iffy, right?
Illinois.
And so every day the forecast changes, and you've got these particular tasks that have to be done before the wind picks up or something like that. So you're watching the weather all the time, aren't you?
Being an Illinois boy and doing construction, you're always watching the weather. This year or this week, they've changed the weather on me every 2 hours for the last 7 days, and we're trying to get all the siding done and be off the job site, so if weather does hit, it doesn't mess the schedule up.
It's a mixed blessing having access to all this weather information, isn't it?
It is.
You'd almost rather not know.
I would always rather know. I think phone apps really help my job a lot for planning purposes, but anyone does construction in Illinois knows this problem.
Yeah.
You always got to plan ahead and adapt and overcome.
When you mentioned 30 projects a year, now they're not all homes, right?
No, sir. We'll do 2 to 3 new constructions. We also do 2 to 3 remodels. We also do a critical home repair program that's new. And we also do wheelchair ramps for the handicap accessible folks.
I think people may be familiar with the ramps, but what's the home? You said the home distressed home or whatever?
Critical home repair program.
Yeah.
What that does is we try to reach out to people that need small projects done to their home to a certain budget, and we'll go in and replace roofs, try to fix up the flooring if there's something wrong. It's just some of those things to help people just fix up small projects, really. And it's a new program we're working with, and I think it's going to jump full board this year. So.
So this home we're looking at is a build this year, and you've got another one coming this year?
Yes, sir. July 1st, we'll start breaking ground on the next one.
Yeah. And what about the one after that? Is that one planned yet?
6 weeks after that, we'll start yet another one.
No kidding.
And when we're on a mechanical phase on this one, we'll be doing construction with volunteers on the next one. And it just seems with the program, with the schedule, when you're not on one, you're on the other. So we're always doing something.
Yeah. Well, that's terrific. I mean, it's you got to keep these guys busy because they don't like downtime, do they?
No. A lot of these guys are former military,
Yeah.
and as myself, and they are constantly, let's just go. It's built into them. So I try to keep them happy, keep supplies on, and the biggest thing is lunch. If you
Keep
miss lunch,
coming.
you're in trouble.
Okay, thanks, Josh.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it. And it's really this is a big year for Habitat of Sangamon County anyway, because later on this summer they're going to celebrate their 30th anniversary, just about a week after Sonia moves into this home for good. With another Illinois story on North 3rd Street in Springfield, I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Illinois Arts Council Agency, and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you.